SPI, our degree studies combine impactful internships and real-world experience, equipping us to be work-ready.
The Sustainable Green Building Design is a living example of landscape architecture that creates an environment for an interactive campus life.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Future Leaders Summit 2020. This is co-organized by Innovate, the Enterprise Startup Center of Technological and Higher Education of Hong Kong, and Innovation and Technology Co-Create Center of Vocational Training Council. I am Daisy, today's MC. So, what is entrepreneurial mindset to you? Why we need to think as an entrepreneur? You may find the answer in today's section. We're so glad to have many great speakers with us today to talk about entrepreneurial mindset. In today's event, we will first have the welcome speeches and an opening keynote, and then there are 3 panel sections. After that, there will be a section called Founders Talk, where you'll have a chance to chat with the startup founders. After the section, there will be a 1-hour lunch break. Feel free to chat with the audience during the break on the platform. You can just enter any of the tables and chat with others. If you have any technical questions or issues, please ask it in the chat room or the Q&A room. So, before starting the event, I would like to invite our organizer of this summit to give an opening speech. May I invite Professor Hong, President of Technological and Higher Education Institutes of Hong Kong, to give us a welcoming speech. Professor Hong, please.
Thank you. Good morning and a warm welcome to all speakers and attendees, both locally and globally, participating in this virtual Entrepreneurial Future Leaders Summit 2020. Looking at the lineup of presenters and the topics to be covered, we are certainly in for a fascinating and stimulating day. A special thank you to our summit keynote speakers, Mr. Stephen Phillips, Director General of Investment and Promotion, Invest Hong Kong, and Mr. Joe Foster, the founder of Reebok, for sharing their insights, experience, and wisdom. Our sincere thanks and appreciation to our supporting organizations and partners for working with us to make this summit happen. The subject of entrepreneurial future leaders has attracted strong interest, and I'm delighted that we have more than 40 supporting organizations and the involvement of 5 countries: Hong Kong, Singapore, Portugal, the US, and the UK this year. As many of you know, prior to the summit, we also held the Future Entrepreneurial Leaders Challenge. May I also thank the judges and contributors who helped to make this event the success that it was. The Entrepreneurial Future Leaders Challenge and Summit are part of the EYE's focus on entrepreneurial education, which aims to foster entrepreneurial mindsets, benefiting not only the EYE students, but also outreaches to local students in the community. The challenge provides students the opportunity to pitch their business ideas, while the summit gathers corporate leaders, founders, startups, and students in an ecosystem conversation about all things entrepreneurial. We hope it will be a platform to nurture both student and public awareness of the need for the entrepreneurial mindset, which is increasingly essential as we face the opportunities and the challenges of the future. At the I, all students undertake general education core modules, including one on the entrepreneurial mindset. We believe that such a focus nurtures our students' abilities to ideate, define and prototype opportunities, to think and act creatively, to be technical problem solvers, to learn to accept that failure is part of the learning journey, and that effecting change means you also need to be persistent, resilient and agile. This afternoon, incubatees of the I Innovate Startup Centre will pitch at the Startup Demo Session. Established in 2018, Innovate provides seed capital, training, mentoring, office space, facilities, and business network support to help our graduates to incubate their startups. The demo session this afternoon includes the 6 Innovate startup teams, including fashion labels, bakery, travel tech, and social enterprise. So thank you all once again for joining us, and I wish you all a very enjoyable and engaging day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Hong. Next, let me invite Dr. Joseph Leung, Academic Director of IT Discipline, Innovation and Technology Co-Creation Center of Vocational Training Council, to give a welcoming speech. Dr. Leung, please.
Yes, thank you. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm delighted to welcome you all today to the Entrepreneur Futures Leaders Summit 2020. Innovation, co-creation, and entrepreneurship are the key driving forces for business transformation today, and through the process to create new business value and social impact. This year, the summit is held as a virtual event. Business executive, entrepreneur, and professional across industry and geographic location meet in this cyberspace to share ideas and insights on innovation and technological adoption and the very business success factor. It is an excellent platform for knowledge sharing and exchanges. At VTC, it is our mission to cultivate high caliber and future work-ready talent and professionals for Hong Kong and the region through quality vocational and professional education and training. The rapid changing technologies and digital transformation are reshaping not just the industry, but the education as well. Workplace experience, project-based learning, and industry mentorships are integrated to form an integral and essential part of student learning journey. The recent establishment of the Innovation and Technology Co-Creation Center at VTC in the Ivy Morrison Hill campus aims to nurture next generation work-ready talent and as well to develop their innovation capability and entrepreneurship spirit. Through learning and engagement of students in industry projects and co-creation activity, we aim to prepare students to acquire industry-relevant skill and competence, particularly the innovation capability, collaboration skill, and entrepreneurship spirit to meet the requirement of the employer and to become an entrepreneur in the new era. Today's event will be fun and full of insightful sharing. With the honor to have many experts here to share with us on innovation capability building and entrepreneurships. Also, we have a group of young talent to show their idea and showcase their projects and how they find a new approach to tackle problems for the betterment of our society. The recent outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic had brought serious disruption to our daily life. However, with so high level of adaptability and responsiveness to changes, new ideas are generated. Like today, we have virtual conference with adoption of cloud, AI, and immersive technology. I'm sure that our young talents will keep on to develop new ideas and innovation products and services. Before I conclude, I would like to extend my welcome to all the participants and wish you all an inspiring and fruitful summit to date. I also thank our industry partner for working with us in the skill training journey. I look forward to collaborating with you in nurturing the young. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Leung. And thank you again for Professor Hong again. It is our pleasure to have the support from Invest Hong Kong to support the summit. Moving right along, let me introduce Mr. Stephen Phillips, Director General of Investment Promotion, Invest Hong Kong, to give us an opening keynote. Mr. Phillips, please.
Well, thank you, Christina, Joseph, ladies and gentlemen. It really is a great pleasure for me to be joining you this morning. I know that throughout the day you're going to be exploring why entrepreneurial startups are such a good career choice, whether founding or working in one. Having founded a startup, a tech-related startup in Hong Kong back in the early 2000s, I can say without a shadow of a doubt that I learned more during that phase of my career about business, about people, and indeed about myself than at any other time. The nature of startup companies means that you have to become resilient and adaptable very quickly, and you pick up skill sets that are much prized by businesses of all shapes and sizes. You really do get to do everything. I think too that you get a much stronger sense of impact and the reward, the personal satisfaction that comes from seeing that impact in what you do. Indeed, impact is one of my favourite words. Impact is what life should all be about. And boy, does the world need impact now. To state the obvious, the world and humanity faces an array of challenges, the likes of which we haven't seen in our lifetimes, and I'm much, much older than most of you. COVID-19, climate change, inequalities of all sorts, geopolitical tensions, economies on the very brink, people's livelihoods at risk. But despite the challenges, I'm resolutely optimistic. As the saying goes, necessity is the mother of all invention. And I'm sure that adversity will play a vital role in leading us to a better future. And that really is what impact is all about. To state the obvious, the world has been hit very badly by COVID-19, accelerating the digitization trend that had already started. Technology really has become ubiquitous across all industry sectors, leading to many more opportunities for people across the world. In the last few months at Invest Hong Kong, we've seen amazing resilience within the startup community. Many startups are obviously battling through the economic downturn, but they're introducing innovative solutions in areas such as e-commerce, food tech, contactless logistics, and of course in health. And that is one of the great things about early stage companies. In times of crisis, startups are quick in jumping out of their comfort zones and pivoting, adjusting their business models and products and services to what is needed by the market at that time. As you may know, at Invest Hong Kong, we have a program called the Start Me Up Hong Kong initiative, which really provides a one-stop platform to support startups and develop a positive startup ecosystem for entrepreneurs around the world right here in Hong Kong. Our annual Start Me Up Hong Kong festival took place in July, attracting thousands of delegations virtually from all over the world, precisely from 97 countries. 181,000 attendees. So please don't let anybody fool you that Hong Kong is anything other than open to business. And as an entrepreneur, you need to ignore the naysayers and prophets of doom and gloom. The future really is bright. But so much more can and needs to be achieved. The government is determined to work with the private sector to transform Hong Kong into a leading global hub for innovation and entrepreneurship and help diversify and grow Hong Kong's economy. But that means opportunities for you. Hong Kong is the perfect testing ground and launchpad for startups, especially for mid-stage to mature startups looking to expand and scale beyond Hong Kong, into Greater Bay Area, into the mainland and into ASEAN. Hong Kong offers everything that a startup needs: supported incubators and accelerators, government funding, private venture capital, as well as Hong Kong's excellent fundamentals. But you might well ask, what has the impact been? Especially, as I said, it really is all about impact. The good news is the initiatives underway really are making our city more competitive. Hong Kong was listed as the third most innovative location in Southeast Asia, East Asia and Oceania in the Global Innovation Index 2019. That's a big change for Hong Kong. And Hong Kong is a new entrant in the top 25, according to the 2019 Global Startup Ecosystem Report. Last year also saw the number of startups in Hong Kong grow a massive 21% to almost 3,200, generating exciting jobs for so many young people in the city. And I have good reason to believe that the number of startups, despite these challenging times, have continued to grow this year. So these are just some of the reasons I am so optimistic. But I know these times are daunting for many of us, so I wanted to leave you with some words of inspiration. DJI, the world's biggest drone company, was started by Frank Wong whilst a student at HKUST back in 2016. And I'm sure you all know it became a unicorn in 2015. SnapAsk, which I guess many of you will be familiar with, was started by Timothy Yu when he was studying at HKU in 2015. And they've recently raised 35 million US in a B round. And of course, this morning you're going to hear from many more entrepreneurs who I'm sure will inspire you for your future. Not all of us will be superstars, I'm certainly not one, but the bottom line is that employers really do value startup experience, that all-round experience you get, being agile, being adaptable, and the ability to hustle and adapt quickly. So on that note, I thank you for inviting me to join you today, and I really do wish you all the very best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Phillips. Now we'll move on to the panel sharing sections to explore more about entrepreneurial mindset in different perspectives.